Vietnam by motorbike, an idea that came to us a matter of days before we stepped foot into the country. Although it was a bold decision to make, this is the type of adventure me and Mitchell live for, being able to carve our own path with no limitations of where we'll end up and to always expect the unexpected, which is quite frankly an understatement for what's to come. 2,800 kilometres and over 60 hours of riding ahead. We barely even knew if this plan was possible for us to complete. Over a series of episodes, we'll be taking you with us on an adventure of a lifetime, diving deep into the depths of Vietnam, immersing ourselves in the Vietnamese culture, experiencing astounding views and being surrounded by the nicest community of people we've ever met. We really don't want you to miss this series, so please click subscribe if you enjoy watching our videos and make sure to leave us a like and a comment. This helps YouTube push our channel out to more like-minded people and helps us grow.
The first order of business was collecting our little weapon of a bike, a Honda CB150. It was definitely too small for the job at hand, but it would work just fine. When you see what the locals carry on their scooters, what we were hauling was absolutely pathetic. After a quick test ride with a child's helmet on my head, we were briefly shown how to load the bike and told where we could spend our first night before we were sent on our way.
Hello! So welcome to Saigon Motorbike, and we are happy to have customers like, what's your name?
Martha.
Martha and Mitch.
Yeah.
And I hope they're gonna have great trip in Vietnam, especially with a professional YouTuber like this, and I hope she's gonna get more subscribers and more audience and follow our trip along Vietnam.
Thank you. Yeah, you've been so helpful. Even got a suite. It's been a really good experience, and you've just got me really excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to hit the road now.
Right. Yeah.
Thank
Ready?
you.
Bye. Have a good trip.
Yeah, good.
Although the excitement was at the forefront of my mind, I have to be honest with you, the nerves started to creep up in there as we got closer to setting off. As much as I trusted Mitch to ride safely, it wasn't him that I was worried about. With our first ride being a 4-hour ride to Cat Tien National Park, and most of that being spent getting out of the city, you had to be a quick learner to understand the roads in Vietnam, as they were like no other and not for the faint-hearted. This is so nerve-wracking right now.
Why?
I don't know. I'm scared the bags are gonna fall off. I can't believe we're riding in Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah, that's where I'm going now.
We're at our first set of traffic lights, which yesterday when we came to was just hectic. Somehow it feels a little bit different to being on the road than it does to being on the sidewalk just watching. We're part of the organised chaos now. Oh.
The first of many petrol stops. Fortunately for us, the price of fuel here is immensely cheaper than at home. 22,000 dong a litre, which is 77p or 94 cents if you're from across the pond. It almost felt like we were getting it for free. A full tank on this bike will take us around 400 kilometres, which means we'll be looking at this site quite a few more times before we reach Hanoi.
As we start to wave goodbye to the high-rise buildings, I suddenly feel a rush of excitement pour over me again as the roads start to open up and the city passes behind us. Even though the past 24 hours had been a lot of fun in Ho Chi Minh City, I was sure as happy to be leaving the big smoke to head towards the countryside. Even on my city high though, there was still no forgetting how dangerous these roads can be.
So this on the left of us, is the highway which we do not want to be on because the trucks are out to kill you. So hopefully we're not on here for too long and then we start getting some nicer lanes. But yeah, that place is an absolute death trap. So we're going to avoid that like the plague the whole trip. I was actually wrong here. The road running adjacent to us was the CT01, a highway that you weren't allowed to use on a motorbike. What we were on, unknowingly to me, was Highway 1A, also known as the Spine of Vietnam. This highway runs from the border of China all the way to the southernmost point of Vietnam, spanning a total of 2,301 kilometres. Although that's extremely impressive, there was an underlying fact about Vietnam that me and Martha couldn't take lightly. In the year of 2020, 29,475 people died due to traffic-related incidents in Vietnam. A big chunk of that number will have been on Highway 1A. With no intention of being added to that statistic, our plan was to stay off this road as much as possible.
This city never ends. Just when you think you're getting it to the end, carries on.
Oh man, hot in them helmets. But yeah, we've just stopped for some food at this cafe and we'll have a little bit of a recap of what just happened. Well, nothing bad's happened, but we've nearly made it out of the city, I think.
I don't know what this sells, so let's just go in.
Yeah, we just pulled up at some random cafe. Smashed my helmet.
So I have no idea what we're ordering. We're just kind of pointing at some stuff, and this bowl of rice is enough to feed.
Hey, there are bowls from the van.
Aww, I miss the van. So we just pulled up, and then I just asked if it's okay to park there because no parking is free in Vietnam. You normally just have to. You normally just have to check with the people.
Thank you. Oh, I'll tell you what.
Wow. This is a good first meal. Sometimes I like not knowing what we're getting because that was just a full surprise of just plate after plate. So I think we've got some chicken, rice, some bean sprouts, vegetables, and then this soup I think's similar to kind of what we had last night.
This is wild good. Look how much rice we got. I'm having a lot of fun so far though. Like, that bike is a lot better than riding the scooter. It's a bit heavy with Martha and the bags on the back of it, but nothing like that's unmanageable. But yeah, this is really fun. I'm so glad that we're doing it this way round rather than getting buses, aren't you?
Yeah, me too, yeah.
No word of a lie, that was the best meal we've had so far, don't you think?
It was really good.
I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I'm sure they won't rip us off. But yeah, that chicken was beautiful.
Thank you so much, thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, what is it?
Can I try it?
Can you hold that, please? So you take this and dip it. Mmm! It's like an apple.
Is that chili?
Yeah. Oh, you just give it some. Hey. Oh, come on, thank you. Come on. Thank you, bye-bye. Oh, they've just given us some. Best meal ever.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Oh, amazing. Little snack for the road. I don't know how much more space we've got on this bike though for them. Bye-bye. Says we've got about 3 hours until we get to our final destination for today, so we're just going to try and put in some miles now, and if anything interesting happens I'll pick up the camera. It has just started pissing it down and it looks like we're joining the locals. Everyone stopped to put on their jackets. Our bags are going to get soaked. Oh my god. And And with every high, there comes a low. We knew the inevitable rain cloud would get to us at some point on this trip, but we didn't forecast it to be an hour down the road. The combination of the heavens opening and the chaotic traffic was enough to set the fear into anyone, and I definitely felt it. But in the moment, I think it finally sunk in that this was happening. We were really travelling the length of Vietnam and needed to be ready for anything to be thrown our way.
When we stopped to put the jackets on, I stood in some poo. What?
Stop!
I told you not to put your hood on. Get it.
Oh, that's how they all do it.
I stood in some poo, and there's a 50-50 chance it's either dog or human poo, because it was at the side of the road, so I want to get that on.
Yeah. I swear sometimes they just beep for beeping.
It's got rain in my charger port. Yeah, I think we found somewhere to go and get a drink now.
Yeah. It finally feels like we're out of the city, and it feels good.
Two coffee, please. Two hot coffee, please. Hot coffee, two, please. Coffee now, is that the right one?
Yeah. Có sữa. Có milk, yeah.
Yes, please.
Well, this is just embarrassing. Our first language barrier interaction was abysmal, and learning more Vietnamese needed to be a priority if we wanted to make it anywhere on this trip.
What have we ordered now then?
I don't know.
Oh. Alright then.
It's so cool. They have all these hammocks in places like this. We've seen them at more at the like rest stops, whereas this is obviously more of a cafe. But we've seen them, and they're for when truck drivers are obviously doing the longer journeys, and I believe that they must just sleep in them. But I think it's so cool that they've just got the hammock, so you must be able to just stop and have a nap. We've been given this little coffee contraption and also a teapot with some like herbal tea in it. And then coffee, and I don't know how. Oh, okay. So, is this? Oh, okay. Okay. How was that drive, Ben?
What do you mean?
Like since we've been on it, I didn't ask you at the last place, but there's been a lot of shaking of your head, more than there was the first time.
Yeah. The only dodgy thing about this is they overtake even though there's stuff going towards them. All the bikes here stay on the right hand side of the road, as you've probably seen. But if there's a car on the left hand side of you and they've got nowhere to move, they're pushing you out of the way. So it's like you have to drive here in like 20-30 seconds in advance, like looking way down the road, because if you see that someone's being stupid and pushing your guy over by overtaking when there's no room, you've got to be well out of the way. You just can't believe that people drive like that. Like, it's just nuts.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where I thought we were on a dual carriageway, do you know, where one side's on dual carriageway and then you're on single carriage. But no, it was just that he was overtaken on our side of the road and just fully, like, big lorries and big trucks as well, they'll just go neck and neck with each other side by side as if they're on a dual carriageway, but they're not.
Is this like done now?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, still got a bit.
Pardon?
Are you meant to press it?
No, it's all done. Just pressed it.
So is that a drip coffee then?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what I'm meant to do with it now.
I'd move your mug off.
This is going to be absolute rocket fuel, isn't it?
Give it a stir. See if there is the condensed milk.
Oh, is it at the bottom? Oh yeah. Oh, this is well good. I'll tell you what, this is the best decision we've ever made, getting this bike. I'm loving it already. Just stopping in places like this just makes it all the time, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
Like them people earlier giving you that fruit, like.
I know.
So nice. These have been even more welcoming than Thai so far, haven't they?
I know.
I didn't think that was possible.
It's starting to get a little bit darker outside, and we've got about an hour and a half left of driving, so I think we'll try and do that in a sprint as well now.
At this point, the start of a trend happens which will correlate for the rest of our trip. I'm the type of person that would rather take a more scenic country road, even if it meant the journey would take twice as long. With that being said, I decide to head down the most interesting looking route for our final stretch of riding for the day.
These roads are so much better already. Like, we've just drove through where there's like all kids finishing school, and as you've just seen, that little lad that's just come past me, I think they're electric bikes. They're just like dropping their mates off at their homes just like down the road from school. But this is brilliant.
And the kids are just coming out of school. That's crazy. Young kids too. Being out of the city and off the more traditional coastal route, the accommodation became few and far between, but with the help of Style this morning, we were able to stay in this beautiful homestay nestled in the tropical forest of Cat Dien National Park. This accommodation was only £11 per night with the breakfast included, and definitely had some character. We're staying at a place called Forest Lodge Homestay, and we've just been given a little parking space for the bike, and then we've been given a really confusing room, and I'm not sure why, but we've got 3 double beds. This is the room, and we sort of asked, just like, is this just for us? And he said, yeah, no one shares. And then we've got a shower, bathroom, but the only other thing is these are open, so I'm assuming that's why we've got the nets. So I don't know how this is going to be later.
I'm so confused. Why have we got 3 beds?
I don't know.
And why is there no windows? I mean, it's going to sound unreal tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep like a baby. This is so sick. I'm actually so happy.
I'm just so confused. Are people joining us?
I'm not sleeping in the same bed with you.
Well, if we've got 3 then. No, but...
I'm sleeping next to this window, listening to the bugs. I won't wake up in the morning.
I must say I am glad that the driving for today is done. As I think that was a good amount, would you say, of driving?
Yeah, I could do a bit more, I think.
Yeah, I think if we'd have started a little bit earlier, I probably could have done like another hour and a half. But in the stint that we've done, like, we've not really stopped at all. Like, even when we stopped for food and coffee, it was very short. Whereas if we did have to travel for longer, but had longer in the day, then I don't think it'd feel as... My bum might be able to regain some sort of consciousness in that time. Whereas today it hasn't. But this view, I'm just looking out here. We are in the jungle out here. Wow.
I'm currently in Martha's bed. My bed's already made with a mosquito net. This one's got it all over it, as you can see.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've slept with a mosquito net. But they are huge.
Yeah.
Huge here.
What, you mean the mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've not really done a lot apart from get some food. We're really badly trying to plan where we're, like, how we're doing this. As you've probably seen, we have no clue really where we're going. We'd made a little plan with the guy this morning, but we probably ain't going to stick with it.
We've got a map that he's given us, and we've just been kind of going over that in bed now, as well as just kind of catching up on a few bits, making sure that the footage that we filmed today is even okay, because we grabbed something last minute for the GoPro this morning.
Yeah, we grabbed a mic this morning, literally last second, because we knew that the footage, well, the sound was going to be really bad if we didn't get this media mod for the GoPro. And I think, touch wood, that it sounds okay.
Yeah.
So apologies if it does sound crap, but I think from looking at it just quickly, it's going to be fine. So yeah, we're really excited for this adventure. Like, we're loving it at the minute, aren't we?
I can't explain to you. I think all I've said to you today is, I love this.
Yeah.
Already. Like, I love this. I just love the fact that we're off the track a little bit and just taking them little routes.
Can make our own plan.
Yeah, making our own plan, and also just being able to go to the locals and go to like the different spots and just be out the city.
Yeah.
It's just completely up our street compared to...
We're going to try and do it as unplanned as possible, because I feel like it just works best for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the morning when I've slept in my own bed over there, Martha slept here, we'll give you a bit more of a rundown hopefully of what we've got in store for tomorrow, because I think tomorrow there's going to be a lot better scenic roads to ride, whereas today it's been a lot of city.
Now that we're out of the big smoke
Yeah.
and on the open road, it just feels a lot better. So we need a good night's sleep.
I wonder if you can see an elephant. I'd love to see an elephant in the wild.
So we're really doing this. The first hurdle is complete of making it out of Vietnam's biggest city, and I'd say that's a pretty successful first day. But now that the urban jungle was behind us, it meant that we could really start to get off the beaten path, which is exactly what happens in the next episode. We make our way through the Vietnamese countryside, discover a massively underrated viewpoint, encounter our first incident of the trip, and get made to feel like celebrities in a tiny Vietnamese town. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss it.